All right, Kledi, we're going to take a look at your underwater butterfly view. So as you're starting your pull here, just like to see your hands a little bit closer under the body. When you're swimming in the underwater view, it's a little harder to see. You have some bubbles tracing the hands. But right here, as we saw in the video, the flyers that we were showing, the thumbs are about 2 to 3 inches apart. And right here, you're about 12 inches apart in terms of your thumbs. So you got to be a little bit more under the body, a little more under the hips, and you're just outside the hips when you're coming back through the stroke. So that'll give you a little more power up front. I'm going to advance forward a little bit to see this part of the stroke. I'd just like to see your chest get a little deeper. So here, in terms of where you are, this is a good angle as far as how you want to swim butterfly, but the chest could be just a little bit deeper at this point, and that will give you a better angle, and the head would be more right here, and then arms would be a little higher here. It's going to get you into a vertical forearm a little quicker if you can get the chest and head down a little deeper as I diagram there. So when you get in this position, you can see as you're here, you still have the forearms pushing you towards the bottom more than towards the back wall. So that's pushing you up. The energy is going upward, okay, instead of pushing you forward. And if you get the chest down a little more and the head down a little bit more, this forearm here will be a little more vertical at that point, okay, with the hand there from the elbow. And you'll be pulling yourself towards that back wall. You'll be pulling those hands, and that's going to give you energy more forward in terms of your butterfly. So it's just a little bit later than what you'd want it, so you have the opportunity to get a little deeper with the chest, and I think that's going to get your catch a little sooner and give you a little more power up front. Again, you can kind of see there's a lot of bubbles on the hands. That's created that way too. So if you can get those elbows up just a little bit more, it's going to clear those hands of the bubbles, and we can see the hands a little bit more. You're carrying a lot of air on the hands at that point. Finish the stroke is good. Kick is good. I really like how you're extending on this back kick and you're getting the feet down. A number of athletes will be a lot flatter here with the feet. You're getting them down, so you're getting good power from your kick at the back end of the stroke, which is the harder of the two kicks to do that. So you're doing a nice job. Nice knee bend here as you're extending forward, and again driving that kick into that pull. So, but if we can just get the head down a little bit more, the forearm, the chest down a little bit more, it's going to get you out of this position here. You're going to be in this position, but you're going to be a little bit more here with the forearm already initiating the pull. So you're just a little late with that, and you're a little too shallow with the head and chest. If we can get down a little deeper, that will help that. Pull here looks pretty good. Again, I think the hands are carrying a little too much bubbles as they come through, and that would just be helped by getting the depth of the chest down a little more. But these are all small things. You can see the width of the pole there. I'd like to see it a little closer as you're coming underneath the body. That gives you a little more power. The thumbs a little closer together. They're still just outside the hips. You're just a little bit more than a foot apart as the hands are coming through. On the turn, as we're coming into the wall, well, I'm going to back it up a frame because try to take the wall on a little bit straighter line. So here's where you press the chest down, but going into the wall and the turn, we don't want to go down as I'm drawing here. We don't want to go downward and then back upward to the wall. We want to be on a straighter angle to the wall into the turn. So you're kind of coming down and then back up. So you'll see it here as I advance in another frame. You go down and then back up into the turn. And we don't want to have that cut back as we're starting the turn. We want to be flatter with the back, so you can see how you're bending up into the turn. Did a better job. I think a little bit of it is we're just trying to change your hand position, so you're trying to get used to that. But as I saw in this video, that's a much better tuck and much better position to get you around quickly on your turn. You do a good job here. Hands are in a great position. You're on your side. Feet are nice and high. You're right in a good position to get a streamline and get a push off. I like the push off to be a little deeper, so I think if the feet can be just a little higher, here's where we're kind of here and you're kind of pushing off at a shallow angle. I like the feet just a little higher and you can get a little more depth. We want to be 5 or 6 feet deep. At this point, you're 2 to 3, and getting that depth is going to really help that kick out and you to accelerate into your breakout. From this angle, it's just a little too shallow. The water following other athletes is going to slow you down too, especially at sectionals, bigger meets where you have bigger bodies, is going to make that a little more difficult. But again, I'm watching that pull just a little wide with the hands as you're coming through. We can get in tighter into the body. Nice kicks though, nice stroke. We'll just talk about those couple items, getting the hands closer underneath the hips and underneath the chest, and trying to get a little deeper with the chest and head into the stroke will definitely help you on your butterfly.